Oh boy, it's that time again, isn't it? Wow, wow, wow. Hey everyone, it's Podpocalypse, finally with the ERM review by Two Stroke Performance. We got the kit here, we got the high comp head, we got the power valve cover, we got all the shebang and the shebling. Ultimately, I'm just gonna wing this because I don't really know what to talk about with this kit. I don't have all that much to say about it. There are some cool features of the little dongle, which I will show at the end of the video. I'll go through all the different screens so you can see whether or not just the little device is worth it. It is a little bit fragile. You know, it feels high quality and whatnot, but just keep in mind that if you put this on your bike and it hits a rock, you're gonna destroy it. This is a really cool little device. Whether it's worth $440, I think it depends on how much you actually work on your bike yourself. Well, 4Strokes I think have some of this stuff already on the mobile apps, but now we two-stroke nerds can get it. So what did I get for my money? I think the biggest improvement is going to be that quarter throttle to eighth of a throttle blubber. It's very similar to, well, it's not really similar to the TPIs. The TPIs had a bit of a lean condition down low, and the throttle body bikes, this new generation, have a rich problem down low, and so they kind of flip-flopped. And the two-stroke performance kit really gets rid of that kind of boggy, delayed gurgle as the bike loads up on fuel. In terms of rideability, I think the description that I would have to give it is it tractors so much better now than it previously did. And full disclosure, I also have a 9-ounce flywheel weight, and I know that that adds a bit of assistance to that kind of lugging along, right, keeping all of the metal moving and whatnot. But I can tell you, and I'll post some footage towards the end of this review as well, of this totally gnarly, the gnarliest wash that I could find in my local area, where you have to maintain your balance and you go 5 miles an hour and you do all of that kind of technical crawling crap. On the XC/TX bike, it's actually surprising how much easier it is now with the TSP kit to do that kind of riding. I've heard that it fixes some of the XCW and the TE300 issues. They are also super rich down low and gurgly, and they have less horsepower and whatnot. I've heard good things about that, so if you have a trail bike, you might like this kit even more. So the lug/tractor factor has gone up significantly at low speeds. However, let's get into the kind of mid and high RPM range. The map that I am running is the 2024, I think updated in June or July, TSP trail map for the XC and TX. It tames the bike quite a bit. It's something to get used to. The change that I have made to their tune for the green map, which is basically all I run, I do have the white map in there, and I have the power valve slightly opened up for the white map, and it's a little bit leaner for the white map, but I don't ever use the white map, so we'll skip that. But for the green map, what I have found that helped get rid of some of the tamed feature of the trail kit, or the trail tune rather, is to open up the power valve 2 to 3%. If you're racing, you probably want to open up like 5 or 6% or something crazy. It has a significant impact. I'm not sure how their ECU algorithm works, but you will actually notice a significant difference in the way the bike operates with single percentage increases. So if you want to use the little basic tuning feature with the 4 little squares, I highly recommend only changing things 1 or 2% at a time, which they also recommend. Get used to it, figure out whether you want to change. As you get better, you'll know what to change, blah, 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 blah. For fueling, I've done it both ways. I've tried to lean it out in the bottom and the top for the trail map, and I've tried to richen it up in the top and the bottom of in the grid, you have essentially your throttle open percentage and then your RPM band, and then you tune for those 4 different regions. My personal favorite is to leave the quarter throttle, 0% difference in everything. I make the 100% throttle across every throttle range and RPM band 2% richer, just to give a little bit extra fuel. Having that extra fuel in there makes me feel a little bit better. I'll stop rambling there. I don't really know what else to say about that. And then yeah, so 2% extra fuel in 100% throttle range and 2% extra power valve. And I'm super happy with it now. I have to reiterate, the bike is a trail monster now. I can just go up the gnarliest, loosest, rockiest crap now with none of that loading up gurgliness. I suppose we'll wrap up the video with the value add. Would I buy the full kit again? The power valve cover, I'm not quite sure. I will tell you this, now that I have the power valve cover on, the high comp head, and we have the fueling mostly fixed or all fixed by the tune itself, the bike is a torque monster down low. I mean, you just, it will just pick up the front wheel. It makes pivot turns a little bit more unwieldy. I have to do pivot turns a lot around the areas I ride because you'll go into a narrow little crevasse and you're going down a wash and all of a sudden you stop at a rock face. Pivot turn. Kind of reminds me of my TPI now. Kind of twitchy down low, you know, once you get past the TPI stutter. And so now I kind of have to just throw the bike around. I'm like, oh my gosh. Don't really mind it, just throwing it out there. If you like to pivot turn, you probably don't want the high comp head. You probably want the medium comp head and stuff to do more of that, you know, Rich Larson superstar stuff. Was it worth the $908, which is what I paid for all of the components? I think yes and no. If I had to do it again and I was on a budget, I would send my ECU in, get it reflashed, not worry about it. If I had the added knowledge that I would want it to be a bit richer up in the full throttle band, I would just tell them to do that on the flash and they could probably just throw that in there and you're good. But yeah, you would end up saving yourself $700 and you'd have the TBI bike, but it's totally amazing everywhere now. And they already have a pretty high compression head stock. So as a DIYer, I do all of the work myself on the bike. Having the little device is actually super awesome. I could see the exact throttle opening, the voltage, the battery reading. You can read all the error codes. That is a big plus. That is beginning to, for me at least, you know, when the FI light will come on if you get the power valve cover. You just have to do the reset procedure. But being able to see that on the device and just read out what's the issue and then reset it and go on your merry way, I thought that was super awesome. So I think we'll wrap this up. I don't know what else to say. It's an absolutely amazing feeling down at the 1/8 of a throttle, quarter throttle. I was watching some of my older videos where I was going up, you know, doing my tire reviews and you could just hear the bike struggling to get rid of the fuel that was going in there, all the fuel and oil. That is completely gone. I want to be very clear. If you are sick of that low-end, rich, dumb gurgle nonsense with the TBIs, the TSP kit just blows it away. It's crazy how much it comes messed up from the factory, and then aftermarket's just like, oh wait, we got you, bro. I think we'll wrap that up. If you're on a budget and you're curious, just get your ECU reflashed. If you've got the money, I don't think you'll regret the kit. I will say if you are a trail-oriented hard enduro rider, you probably want the medium comp head for low altitude, high comp head if you're higher altitude. And then the power valve cover, I would say take it or leave it. If you want a twitchier lower end, you actually can notice it, by the way. It's really weird. Probably adds 1 to 2 horsepower. If you want that for racing or whatnot, you can throw that on there. It looks kind of cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Podpocalypse out. All right, everyone. As promised, we're going to go through the screens really quick, but super fast. I wanted to show you a little life hack I did. So the little dongle that you hook up to is very obvious. When you're following their install instructions, you'll see it. But I just routed it up through this, my on-off switch power plastic retainer thingy. I just moved it up here, and now I can plug it in super easy whenever I want. All right, everyone, hopefully this is showing up pretty well. Maybe we have to get in a little closer. Oh, we can't see anything. On the main page, you have your dash, but you have your power valve opening, your throttle opening, and your RPM. So if you wanted to mount this to your bike, you could see those things in real time. You have the tune, which lets you select the tune, and then you can map it to the white and green map. Then we have our extras. Page 1 is your fault codes. You can read codes, clear codes. 2 is the service, where you can calibrate the throttle. I haven't used that one yet, so I'm not quite sure what it does, but it's there. Check online for updates. This device is hooked up to Wi-Fi when you first set it up. You can reset your ERM with the Pro mode. And then I think we have to skip these next ones because they have personal information, but you have your registration screen and your device info screen. We have a diagnostics thing, so I think the way this works is you can save your diagnostics, upload it to your PC, and then email it if you have issues. The customer service, by the way, is really good. They're really good guys. They want you to love your thing, so if you have any questions, reach out to them. You have some display kind of metadata settings. You can rotate it. You can set the brightness. ECU power and ERM power. This is part of some of the resetting procedures. So what you'll do is you'll hold the throttle in some percentage value. You'll turn off the ECU, turn it on, blah, blah, blah. And then you have your localization. So you can do Celsius or Fahrenheit. Pretty cool. I think my favorite thing is this dash page, and then I absolutely love this page where you can read the codes. That just makes doing stuff yourself without needing any dealer tools pretty easy. Oh my gosh, what if I broke it? That'd be funny. Oh boy.
it's dirty. Oh crap, it's loose here. Whoa! This way? Whoa, whoa, whoa.